A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I've been saying for maybe about 2 weeks that we made it through this coldest winter ever, but I think I received confirmation from the rest of the universe because I got some sidewalk chalk, and these always signal spring. My favorite things, the Powerpuff Girls. One of them's name is Buttercup, but with primary colors is red, yellow, and blue. So her being green is really, really wrong. She should just be yellow, and then she won't be so grumpy if they just let her be yellow, and she'll just be butter. But yeah, so we made it through this cold winter. I'm 54, and I'm like, winter, the whole planet dies, and it's like, I could just make it to spring, I get another year. So I tell everybody, just make it to spring, it's difficult, especially if you're in tune with the universe. Winter can be really, really trying, long nights, and black people, we're people of the sun. We like sunshine, so it's like, it's been raining and raining and raining, and I say, just make it to the end of the rain so you can see all this beautiful green, you know what I mean? Flowers and stuff everywhere, but you gotta make it to the end of the rain so you see all the flowers and birds and everything. I drew with my I guess somebody just left their sidewalk chalk somewhere. It was kind of hidden, but I picked them up because I like that sort of thing. And then I go to the bus stop today and I see all this sidewalk art on the ground, and it looks like all white people. And it's like, one thing about being an artist, artists are the people who like show the true culture of a location. Like, I'm from Los Angeles, so the art is always sunshine, rainbows, flowers, the beach, palm trees, and that type of thing. I go to New Orleans and it's all music, instruments, and that type of thing. Then I come out here and it's like, the people still have their culture, and it could be beach and dolphins and rainbows and flowers, but what I noticed is like all flowers, and I think that's so amazing. And this art that I saw on the ground, it was like no representation of the place where we are. So I learned how to make the flower before I even moved out here. It's kind of complicated, but it's a plumeria. I prefer the plumeria over the other flower because the other one is just like, if you know anything about flowers like I am, and I was actually given a Hawaiian name. It's funny because I didn't realize it until like years later that this guy was giving me a Hawaiian name, because I'm really big on names, so I asked him what's his name, and he told me Pooh. I said, what does that mean? He said, flower. I was like, that is not your name, you know? And then I met some other people, and I'm like, that's not your name. And one guy in particular gave me the name of the guy that he was with. And I was like, that's his name, you know? And I'm like, stop playing with me. So I'm like, okay. Then I met this person who was not from here, and he told me that he got his name just because he happened to be in a certain place, like hidden in the bushes. And he said Maui actually walked by and just said this word. And I don't think he even saw the guy sitting there. Maybe he probably did, but the guy said he just took that as his name. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take Poo as my name. Just like crazy because it resonates with me in so many different areas. But yeah, it means flower, and I know like so many different kinds of flowers. And when you meet someone like Pikake is a flower, and Tiare is a flower, and some more I can't think of right now. But Pu'u is like just general, like Zahara, which means flower, where you can have Yasmin, you can have Warda, which is like a specific type of flower. But yeah, so I got a Hawaiian name, and it's kind of cool, you know. To me, it sounds funny, Poo, but I always like Winnie the Pooh, and I met, you know, like someone really significant, and Pooh, like the name, but Poo is not really a common name from what I could see. And when I went to jail this like past weekend, I was in a holding tank before I went to court, and it was like covered. Every single inch of space on the wall was covered with people's names. So I was like, okay, I gotta leave my imprint, you know, because I feel like I'm a kapuna, which is like a resident or local or whatever, just on the strength of being black. You know, I feel like the whole earth is mine. So I found a spot underneath the bench. There wasn't no names down here. So I said, okay, I wrote a law. And it's crazy because it's like totally different alphabet and everything. But then I said, okay, I'm going to write my Hawaiian name too. And you see a lot of Lonnies, you know, you see a lot of other names, but Poo is not on there. And I wrote that in cursive with my handcuffs. It's crazy. They had me shackled. My feet were shackled and my hands were shackled. And I just felt like I'm just, you know, shaking just thinking about it. But that was very traumatic. But to me, I feel like winter and all that bad negativity and stuff, we can move past it. We're still in the hello spring, you know, goodbye winter, hello spring. But they already started like mowing the grass and cutting back the plants and everything, because plants, like when you ride the bus, you can see how the trees will accommodate the buses. You know, you don't have to have somebody cut back the trees, because the plants just want us to work with them, you know. But this white man, he's such a foreigner to our planet, and it sounds crazy, but the scientists who made the moon was trying to destroy the planet. so why is it so unfathomable to think that there are really people trying to destroy the planet? If you watch anime, Attack on Titan, I think One Piece or something like that, I don't really watch those because it's scary to me. But Monsanto, they trying to destroy the planet by killing off the fruits and vegetables and not allowing us to plant our own, which propagates the life of the earth. So yeah, I'm gonna go, but happy Savior's Day, and also eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and plant the seeds. Never ever throw seeds away. If you just throw it on some cement, while you're walking, somebody else might see it and be like, oh my God, a seed. I had someone write me when I was talking about cutting your hair and your nails and not just throwing that away. Bury it, like you would do your entire body. Don't just do that. They told me they didn't have anywhere where they was green grass or dirt or soil. Everything was covered with cement. I probably cried, but they asked me if they could burn it. I said yes, burn it. And then my son said you could also put it over the ocean, some water. Some people dispose of their remains like that. But now that I think about it, I'm like, there's got to be a cemetery or something like that where, they bury people. A public park or something. I've gone to a public park or something, but I can't imagine a place like that. Like use your phone and try to find some type of garden or water lake or something like that where you can find a place that's not covered with cement. There was a book called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn because there's like no trees and things like that. So they wrote a book about this one tree. It's like a classic or something, but I can take it. Sometimes books that are considered classics are really, really bad. And also, while I'm at it, parents. Always, 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 always read whatever your child is reading first. Because I went to the bookstore and I'm extremely claustrophobic. I wanted to get a Bible, so I'm trying to play it off. I go and I just grab a book and I go to the Bible section and I'm like, sometimes I can't even wait in the line. I'm so claustrophobic, so I have to steal it. I still need it. I might just, if I have cash, I'll just put way more than what the book is worth and be like, look, I got this here and I can't wait, and just go. And I can't remember what I did that time. But anyway, this book that I just grabbed because the cover looked like it might be interesting. I read children's books because I like to know what these adults are putting out for our children to read. So I picked up this book. It's called The Second Summer of the Traveling Pants. It's the second book in a trilogy for young adult girls, 11, 12, 13. And I'm like, I knew I didn't want to read it. Just looking at it. Pants, for one. And I'm like, okay, I didn't have nothing to do, nothing to read. I got time, so let me just look at it. So when I read a book, I read the copyright. I want to know what date it was published, the ISBN number, and all that type of thing. So then it's a little prologue, an introduction, and it's the traveling pants. It's okay for you to take off your pants in front of a boy, but don't let him take off the pants for you, or something like that. And I was like, this is YA for young teenage girls, telling them that it's okay to take off your pants in front of a boy. And after that, I was like, oh my God, this book came out in 2013. My daughter was 12. I'm wondering if she read that. You know what I mean? And at the time, I wasn't Muslim yet. And I remember having conversations about boys with her. So when I became Muslim, like 3 years later, and completely changed, and she was not ready to change with me, but I'm like, I'm still mom, so I have to be extremely patient. And my son was a baby, so he like got it from when he was real little. But my daughter is like growing up in America as a teenager. There is no cap on indecency. You indecent as possible. 11 and 12-year-olds being told in this book, a trilogy, which is like a New York bestseller. It's okay. Like, they had like a list of guidelines. Number 1, it's okay to take off your pants in front of a boy. And that's like the title of the book, Pants. Take them off in front of boys. So yeah, parents, if your child is at that age where they're like, I'm reading what I want to read, I ain't telling my parents, I'm at school, they not watching me all the time, I'm sneaking books and everything, tell them, impress upon them, I just want to make sure that you don't read something that hurts you. I'm your parent, I love you. I don't want you to come across something that is going to change you, and make you, this world is horrible. They sneak stuff that looks like children's stuff, and it'll be something filthy, you know what I mean? So you have to be extremely careful. I feel like lock your children up in the house, turn off channel 0, station, WZRO, KZRO, television, radio, film, everything. Throw that stuff out. Have your children just, create things themselves. Don't read somebody else's book. Have them write a book. You know what I mean? Have them draw their own pictures to color. Create their own videos. Create their own cartoons. And create their own things like that. Not what someone else wants them. And take them out somewhere far, far, far away and lock them up. And hopefully by the time they get older, the world will be different. So yeah, that's just me. For the junior section of Homemaking for the Black Woman Journal.com. Made it through the winter. Get you some bubbles, get you some sidewalk chalk, go to the beach, get you a lifesaver, go to the park. I saw a kite earlier, and it's just like, man, this winter is extremely cold, snow, and just really, really cold, but I really believe it's over. It's still February, but we ready for March, ready for spring. February, sometimes it's like that. So yeah, the people who celebrate New Year with the equinox, it changes, Chinese, that's what I'm learning. Their Chinese New Year was like last week. But their calendar is probably includes the stars, the constellations, and the sun and the moon. It's impossible to make a calendar based on the moon. We have 3 of them. Some people are trying to kill me because I'm letting people know But I've known since before I moved here in 2020, 21 or 19, that's very like traumatic to look up and see 3 moons. You're like, oh my God, I'm crazy. I can't say nothing. Why don't they tell us this? Because I was reading, like, love science, and astronomy is one of my favorite branches of science. None of the science journals ever mention that Earth has more than one moon. And being in the nation, we're taught that the moon was part of the Earth, and the scientists blew it up, and now part of the Earth is circling the Earth that wasn't blown up. And we're also taught that Mars used to be the Earth's moon trillions or 50,000 or however many years ago. But I'm like, why is it so hard to conceive that an asteroid or I'm not sure the difference, but a meteor or something get caught in the Earth's atmosphere also and starts to rotate around the Earth along with the moon? Why is that so hard to let people know? You know, and being a photographer, camera comes from the Arabic word for moon. It's like a whole science for people who just like to photograph the moon. And so I know it's other people, because last month when it was a full moon, I'm just sitting down enjoying the moon. And then I see another moon, because the clouds are like in on the secret. They don't want everybody to know. So it was like a whole show. It was like 3 moons. It was like 2 moons up here and then 1 on the bottom. And it was like, okay, I can't, because the clouds, you know, around it and the way that they move, they can make it look like stuff is going on. And it looked like the moon was like, and just closed my eye, like really, really sad. And then the moon that was like making up the mouth, it looked like a face, 2 eyes and a mouth. And one of the eyes looked like it winked. And the moon in the mouth flew over to another side, and it was really, really small after the clouds did the thing. And it looked like it actually, like a baseball, like somebody pitched it and then a glove caught it. It's crazy. You know, my phone was dead, so I couldn't do anything. I'm just gonna enjoy it myself, you know, and I could tell you, and you could like watch. And I was thinking, when it's a full moon, it's more likely that you'll be able to see it. But I've seen it when it was crescent moons, and they're always in the same stage. I forgot what it's called, like phase. It's always in the same phase. If it's a crescent moon, all of them are crescent moons. If it's a full moon, all of them are full moons. If it's that other where it's like 3/4, they're all like that. I think I have seen maybe when it wasn't all of them the same, but usually they're all in the same phase. And it's like the next day after I saw 3 of them. I could still see all 3 of them again. So yeah, I'm a journalist. You know, other things, but I'm a journalist too. And a journalist tells people what's going on. You know, a lot of journalists get killed for doing that, because there are people who don't want the public to know what's going on. So journalists get abducted, they get thrown in jail, all types of things like that. I just got out of jail, you know, and I feel like I'm always been a political prisoner, you know, because being homeless, they have something called criminal trespassing, I think. And it's like, seriously. But yeah, when you're homeless, that's a crime, because they want everybody in a cage all the time. If you're outside all the time, your body is going to be in tune with nature. And they don't want that, because it's like the moon. They have the term lunatic. So if it's 3 moons, that means you like 3 times a lunatic. But yeah, I have a diagnosis, But I realize that when I take medication and all that stuff, it's just to make the people around me more comfortable. I mean, more comfortable. Because I have, like, they call them episodes, psychotic breaks, and all that stuff, where it's just like, I cannot believe this stuff is going on. You know, so it's like, I coined the term crochet-therapy. I crochet for my therapy, and you come up with stuff like this. I just gotta make something, you know what I mean? And sometimes it'll be like, what is this, you know? But crochet stuff, if it's crochet, you can put it anywhere in your body and you warm up, you know? So I've created the skate park scarfie, which is not really my creation. Is the plug and Alert years ago gave me a scarf that was a scarf, but you could open it up and put it over your head and bunch up over your shoulder, put it like that. It's really, really cute, really Muslim. So I started making those, and you could wear it as a muff. You know, just put over your hands if your hands are cold. Cause I'm like, gloves. I sold my gloves. I've crocheted mittens, but and it's like I would have to use like really, really, really small. Okay, go to skateparkstories.com if you want to hear the crochet side of my life. I don't have a skateboard right now, and it's just like, I'm at the skate park. My son said it looks like really dope where I am, but I'm not going to the skate park because I think it's people over there. And when a black girl goes to the skate park, it's on. So I try to go when nobody's there. But yeah, I think I said quite enough, and I'm gonna say a Salamata Badabu, and Savior's Day is every day. We have this one day, and I'm thinking about like the major group of Black Muslims. They never really do their convention on Savior's Day. They do it on the weekend. But I'm like, if they had done it today, then they could have had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for their convention and actually had it on Savior's Day. But it's like never do they have it on Savior's Day. I feel blessed that I was able to attend the Savior's Day in Manhattan back in 2008. So that's our pilgrimage. So technically I'm a Mujahideen or something like that. But spring is here. Made it through the winter. Get you some bubbles, some sidewalk chalk, a kite, go to the park, the beach, get your barbecue stuff ready for summer. Graduation is almost here. I'm really excited about that. I love graduation. I'm in school. I'm still gonna maintain, but it's like on the computer, and today I had to send the contact support because my class is supposed to be over in May, but I want to be finished way before, just to make sure that I finish by May, you know what I mean? But they're like, no, we're not gonna let you. And I took this part, the same section, like 10 times, and I never got my check mark to show that I completed it. And I'm like, I would like to be finished with this. So get your computer together, you know. But yeah, EDX, lowercase e, lowercase d, capital X, and just go and see what universities come up. Because, like, if you look at Stanford, it looks like Alhambra in Spain, like, which is Muslim, used to be, they call it Al-Andalus, and it was run by Muslims. There's a book called The Moors in Spain, and it shows it's kind of sad because the Inquisition and white people, Christians, and all that. But I think that was like when Islam was like taking over the world, but they said it wasn't time yet or something like that. So it's time now, and I'm not gonna say anything else. Like they say, you have the right to remain silent, and it's a difference between